In this video, we're going to explore the idea of sensors a little more, especially with regard to how do you make the app behave differently if different things are happening with the sensors. So the problem this app will seek to solve is to determine, is my phone lying flat on a table? And to this end, we can make use of the accelerometer sensor. So right now I have my show accelerometer app running, and I find that if I lay it on the table, that the Z value is really close to 10, like between 9 and 10. If I start tilting it upward, it starts falling to 8 or 7 or thereabouts. And if I tilt it the other way, it likewise falls. So by observing those numbers, I can come up with an idea of a condition such that with these numbers happening, that means the phone's lying flat. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new app, and I'm going to call it Flat Phone. So the overall strategy I'm going to use with this app is when it is lying flat, I'm going to have the background be green. And when it's tilted, I'm going to have the background be red. So in order to achieve this, all I really need to add is the sensor. So I'm going to scroll down to sensors, and I'm going to grab an accelerometer. So now I'm ready to go to the blocks, and I'm ready to program my accelerometer. Specifically, I want the color to update anytime my accelerometer changes. So what's that going to look like? I want to check this Z acceleration value and see if it's a number bigger than 9. Actually, I'll go with a number bigger than, a number bigger than 9. If it is, I'm going to say it's lying flat. If not, I'm going to say it's not lying flat. So how do I decide that stuff? I need to use what's called an if block. So an if block lets us check to see if some condition is true, and then if it is, we can take a particular action. So in this case, the condition I'm checking is something about the Z acceleration. In order to find out if it's greater than 9, I can go over to the, I think the math. No, not math. Actually, I think I need to go to the logic collection. Here we go. Yeah. So in the logic collection, we have blocks that figure out if something is true or false. In this case, what I want to know is the Z acceleration greater than 9? Now, to get the literal number 9, I do need to go to the math. And it starts at 0, but what I really want is a 9. So 9. There we go. So if it's greater than 9, then I want screen 1 to turn green. So I'm going to say from screen 1, I need to set the background color to green. But what if it's not? Then I want it to be red. Well, the if only has space for what if it's true. Well, what if it's false? Well, I click on this little gear, and it lets me add an else clause. So I put an else clause there, and now I can create some code that handles the situation if this condition is not true. What's that code going to look like? Well, in that case, I am going to set the background color to red, signifying that it's not actually lying flat. And so that's my app. And now I'm going to try it out on my phone. So I'm opening up the Thunkable app. I click on Flat Phone. And when I lay it down, it is green. And when I lift it up a little bit, it's still green, maybe when it's like a 15-degree angle or so. And then it goes to red, and it's red all the way up. So I think it's being maybe a little too generous with the green, so I'm just going to play with the number a little bit. And you're going to find that you do that a lot when you've got conditions like this, that you often find that the threshold for the sensor value isn't necessarily what you want. So I'm going to try 9.5. I'm going to see how that works. And now I find as I play with my phone, let me run the app again. Yeah. No, it was a little better. It's still maybe a little more generous than I really want. I'm actually going to go to 9 3/4. So right now it's flat. Yeah, just with a little bit of lift, it kind of flashes between green and red a little bit. And that'll happen because sensors are imperfect. They're not infinite in precision. And sometimes they don't do quite what you want. But in this case, yeah, I actually find this works pretty well. I think it's a pretty neat little app to determine whether the phone is level or not. This is just one example of what you can do with these sensors. So again, I encourage you to play around with the sensor values, get a feel for what their implications are. But most importantly here, we have the idea of if, the idea of having the program do different things when certain conditions arise. So have fun with that.